So here I am, star of my own show, owner of many wigs, and writer of my own comedy scripts because nobody else would let me star in their show. But for those who don't know, my secret marketing show is a little series I put together myself to make a point about marketing, and I try and put a funny spin on it. So I know what you were all thinking, because I'm really perceptive. You're probably thinking, what is a peppy firecracker like me doing choosing LinkedIn, the dullest social media platform, as her home? Because I focus most of my attention on LinkedIn. I absolutely love it. So I can imagine you all thinking, blimmin' Nora, Janine is awesome. What's she doing? In the sort of focusing her time on the grey, boring, sort of besuited accountant of the social media platforms. What's going on there? And I can imagine us all on there sort of holed up in this boring grey office, hammering away, because we've all been told to be there. We don't want to be on LinkedIn. We've been told, haven't we? 2019, or you must go on LinkedIn. It's where to be. Reach is through the roof. Engagement is insane. So we're all there going, oh my God, it's so boring. And watching the clock tick by, waiting for home time when we can leave the boring office and go somewhere fun. Go to that house party you've been invited to. And finally, the time comes, you can leave the office, and we all head out the door, and we grab a bottle of Plonk from the local offie, and we arrive at our house party, this house party we've been invited to, and the door flings open, the music's blasting, we have a boogie, have a couple of drinks, and before you know it, as is always the case, you end up in the kitchen having a natter to 3 or 4 of the best people you've ever met. Just a really fun group of people. They love you. You're having a laugh. You laugh so much beer snorts out of your nose by accident. And you have a deep and meaningful chat that goes on until 4 o'clock in the morning. And time flies and you don't notice it because you're having fun. Now, believe it or not, that is my LinkedIn. I love LinkedIn that much. It's not a boring grey office. To me, it's a fun house party. And for the purposes of this talk, I have been trying to pin down why. Why do I love LinkedIn so much? And it all boils down to one simple thing. It doesn't feel like an effort. It doesn't feel like I'm on there to build an audience. I'm making friends. I'm just making friends, which follows on very nicely from what Janet was saying, so that's awesome. So I've got 3 things I want to tell you today about building an audience the friendship way. Number 1, when you click with somebody and you're making friends with them, it's fun, it's enjoyable. I'm not talking about going to a networking event and sort of enforced human interaction. I'm talking about really clicking with people and realizing they've got the same sense of humor as you, or you both have dogs, or you do business in the same way. That is fun, and when it's fun, you do more of it without even thinking about it. So that's brilliant. Number 2, when you make friends, you have to be yourself. So we're all told to turn up on social media as ourselves, aren't we? Be authentic. Be Marmite. But when people say be Marmite, they're not saying be something else to be Marmite. They're saying you're already Marmite. Some people like you. Some people don't like you. There's people in this room that might not like you. It might be him. He might not like you. It's possible. Yeah, he's very critical. And the point is, when you turn up as yourself, you are naturally going to draw your ideal clients to you. You're going to end up having people approach you who you actually like, and you want to spend time with, and you want to help, and you want to work with. And the third point I want to make about building an audience the friendship way is that when you make friends with people, they introduce you to their friends. And that's a very natural way of increasing your circle of influence. So I've got a real-life example of this. About a year ago, I met a guy on LinkedIn, not as dodgy as it sounds. His name is John. I could see he was a good guy. He was giving people advice on how to use LinkedIn out of the kindness of his own heart. And he had a similar sense of humour. And very quickly, our friendship descended into good-natured insults. So that's when you know you really hit it off with somebody. And after a while, I thought, it'd be really nice to meet John. And I heard he was going to a conference back in May this year. I thought, okay, it made sense to meet him there because it's kind of equidistant from where we live. I thought, okay, I'm gonna take a plunge It's a couple of £100 to go to this conference, but if he likes it and he's part of that community, I haven't heard of it, but I reckon he's a good judge of character, and I'm going to have a good time, and I'll get to meet my friend John. So I did. I went along to this conference in May, met John. He's exactly the same as he is online. It was like meeting an old friend. It was lovely. It was so good. We were conference buddies for the day, and he started to introduce me to all his friends, as you do. So at this point, I'm just going to press pause, because some cynical people among you might be thinking, Janine, get a grip. Is this all it is? You're just saying, oh, it's lovely, make friends. You don't have to make any effort, it's just effortless friend making. Isn't that lovely? LinkedIn friends. There must be more to it than this. Well, there is. There's one extra thing that I've been doing on LinkedIn that tips it over into what I'd call audience building, and that's simply to give people something to get excited about. And that's my secret marketing show. I called it the Secret Marketing Show. I did series, which sets the expectation that there'll be a second series and a third series. Created a hashtag, created a bit of buzz about it. So when John was introducing me to all his mates at that conference, he wasn't saying, ooh, Bob, this is Janine, she's a marketing consultant. He was saying, oh, Bob, this is Janine, but you know Janine from the Secret Marketing Show, don't you? You haven't seen the Secret Marketing Show. Oh, you have to see the Secret Marketing Show. It's funny. She does this, and she takes a point, and she twists it. And this is how he introduced me to every single one of his friends, and it got really embarrassing by the end of the day, because it was like, John, stop! Oh, I am so good, yeah. Just to continue that example, one of the people he introduced me to, he knew we would hit it off. We had exactly the same sense of humour. We were trying to do similar things with our business. She actually became a client of mine, and she's actually a presentation coach as well, and she helped me put together this presentation. I think we can all agree she's done a wonderful job. Thank you, Trisha. She's not here. So to recap, when you're building an audience the friendship way, there's 3 things that I think that's good about that approach. Number 1, if you're enjoying it, if you're really making friends with people who've got shared interests with, it's enjoyable, and you will naturally want to do more of it. It won't become this onerous point on your to-do list. You'll do it more naturally. Number 2, when you make friends, you have to be yourself. You have to show up as yourself, which is what we're told to do, and your ideal clients will come to you. And number 3, you make friends, and they introduce you to their friends. And that's brilliant, because that's automatically helping you increase your circle of influence. And the final thing that tips it over into audience building is to give people something to get excited about, and something to associate with you that's yours, that's part of your brand. So if at the end of all that, you're still not convinced that LinkedIn is a fun place to be, then send me a connection request. I'll show you where that house party is, and I'll introduce you to all of my friends. Thank you very much.